Um, okay, guys, my name is Andre Gordon, as TJ said, and I'm excited about this slide right here. This slide to me, it's important because I just want to make sure that we're not complete strangers, so you guys can get a little bit of background on me, and then that way we can share some information and see where we end up by the end of this conversation. And the reason I put this slide together is because it reminded me of a lot of different things in my life, things that are really important to me, things that I feel like are the glue that hold my life together. And in most of these scenarios, when I look at the top corner, it's my wife and I, and it says opportunity. And I look at that and I think, you know what? What an opportunity it was for me, even to be with somebody as amazing and wonderful as she is. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I think, wow, I am truly blessed. And you know, when you approach a beautiful young lady, you got to take a chance, and and the chance paid off. And I look further on in my slides here, and just so you guys know, I've had a long career in television and film, done TV commercials for countless different, you know, like BMW, Adriana Lima commercial for Kia, I guess cars like me. Uh, NCIS LA as an actor. I'm also a producer with Paramount Studios, formerly with Paramount Studios. And I've been independent for quite a while. And I look down even further and I see this picture in the bottom right of myself with Morgan Freeman. And I thought, wow, what an incredible opportunity to do that, to work with him. And the reason why I bring all this up is because when I went to college, my friends and maybe even some of the younger instructors said to me, listen, let's everybody talk about their dreams, right? And I told them my dream was to work in television and film. And they told me that those results are not typical, that the opportunity to end up on TV, to end up in film, to tell stories and make a living doing it is not typical. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I work hard, if I network, if I really give it my best, and if I'm consistent, I really feel like this could happen for me. And and I'm so glad that it did. And now, almost 18 years later of being in entertainment, I'm now the director of theater and motion pictures at a high school, a private high school here in South Florida. And the exciting thing to me about that is that I feel like once you get to a certain level, it's important to bring people who are coming up with you. Making movies with Sony, there's Cross, and then in the center of it all, you know, you see my family, my kids, my wife and I, and right above that is the People's Championship Gallery, and I feel like it's important to help people. So why do I bring all this up? I bring this all up because I asked myself before each of these endeavors, and I asked myself an honest question. One is the last time that I did something for the first time. And the reason I ask that and the reason why that's important is because we can get stuck in a cycle or comfortable in a cycle of doing the same thing over and over from, you know, from the day that we can start deciding for ourselves until the day that we don't. So I've made it a mission over the last 3 years to do new things, and I hope that this conversation opens you up to some new things. So let's look at some of the challenges that all generations face. Whether you talk to my parents or you know their parents or their parents' parents, these seem to be the three challenges that face all generations. We have money, time, and health. Right now, money is something that I believe that everyone can connect on, and most people would agree it doesn't hurt to have more money because money gives you options. And if you have options, then potentially you can create a more comfortable life for yourself and your family. But if you look at the world economy is changing, right? We've changed from on land to brick and mortar, and a lot of things are changing to online. So let's take a quick look at the industry disruptors, right? Let's look at Tesla, Netflix. Netflix put Blockbuster out of business. Facebook didn't even exist when I was going to school. Uber and Amazon. These companies have really made a difference in how the economy has played out and the trends. So if you look at a 10-year span between 2006 and 2016, Best Buy, J.C. Penney, Kohl's, Macy, Nordstrom, Sears, Target, all of those have had between a 15 an 83% decline. And if you ask yourself why, I think it's because they weren't able to adjust with the online trend. Whereas Walmart made a bit of an adjustment, but Amazon embraced the adjustment. And if you look at the disparity between Amazon and JCPenney, it's unreal. At the Falls Shopping Center down here in Miami, there's a department store that I've been going to for 30 years, and it's closing. And it's unreal to think that, you know what, whether you're ready or not, change is coming. Are you with the change, or are you holding on to the past? And I like to look at business in terms of embracing the change so we can move forward. Even McDonald's. So I have a friend, a colleague, who, they own 9 McDonald's. And I was reading an interesting article where, for the first time in a long time, more McDonald's closed than opened. However, McDonald's, their sales and revenue is still high and holding strong. Now, why is that? 2 things. Number one, in my estimation, is because they've made some shifts towards a healthier option menu. But most importantly, I see what they've done for the mass public is they've embraced the online trends. They now have Uber Eats. So you could just go to your phone, pick what you want, and it shows up at your door. So even a company like McDonald's has embraced the online trend. Let's look at social media influencers. And this is where I see big time brands making big time changes. Adidas has embraced that same philosophy, and they brought in Kanye. And as a person who does commercials and who's worked in commercials, a lot of the approach to branding and is different now. So they've reached out to Kanye, and he's really trumpeting that brand. There you see the second best player to live, LeBron, he's embracing Nike and he's trumpeting their brand. And then you have the other people's champion, The Rock, and he's embracing Under Armour. But you may say, like, hey, listen, who else is doing stuff like that? You look at Kylie Jenner, one of the youngest billionaire, the youngest self-made billionaire by age 21. Okay, she founded Kylie Cosmetics. She grew it solely on social media for 3 years. She partnered up with a company and then launched it to her followers. Okay, now that to me was really impressive. And you may be thinking like, well, I'm not Kylie Jenner, I'm not The Rock, I'm not, whoever, but how do we make it in today's world, the everyday person? So I love this slide. This is I don't know if you guys have heard of the new, the cash flow quadrant. This is the new cash flow quadrant, okay? So there's employees, there's business builders, starting your business, there's self-employed and investor, right? So finding a job you love. I have a job that I love. I love directing these shows and creating these films and teaching young people how to be creative and to sustain a potential career with those tools. I love that, and a lot of people have jobs I love. Teachers, corporate people, flight attendants. There's so many jobs that you love. And what I had to look at that though is realize that when you have a job you love, you're still trading your hours, your time for dollars, okay? And then you look at self-employed, like Uber. And Uber, I know a lot of people when I get into the Uber, when I used to, haven't in a while, but when I would get in Uber cars, they would say, I love being self-employed, I decide my own hours, I decide when I work, what have you. But if you look at the world is unpredictable, and there are not a lot of people giving a lot of Uber rides right now. So you're still not completely in control. And then there's starting your own business, and that's really what I have done, and some of my colleagues that are on the phone call have done with this great company, USANA, and then investing, Warren Buffett, people who really take their money and make their money work for them. So let's look into it. Let's dig into it a little bit here. So starting your own business to me is probably the best use of time and the best use of leverage in order to create some opportunities for yourself to have more of the lifestyle that you may want, that you design, right? So that's where we're talking about time. because everyone has the same amount of time. And that time is all broken up into different sections. And we all have to work. We all need to sleep. We have families we want to spend time with. We need to eat. And some of us are working out more than others, or watching Netflix. I have a buddy who's watching South Park like crazy, and maybe that's how they're spending it. We all have the same 24 hours, but how are we divvying up the time to make it work for us? Okay? So let's look at this. This to me is a algorithm where we are going to calculate how to reach 100,000 hours. Now, the 100,000 hour benchmark, if you're a working professional, is where you're thinking, wow, I've really made a good income and a good life for myself in terms of money, right? Because we talked about trading hours for dollars. So we have this one person here on the left, and let's say the average you're working 50 hours per week, times, let's say you get a couple of weeks off, right? Times the 50 weeks per year. That's 25,000 hours per year, right? So in that traditional algorithm, you work those 40 years and you reach 100,000 hours, okay? And after that 40-year career, you're able to really look back and say, I've done it. I've had a good life, had a good career. But let's look at something else here. It's just something we could look at. Let's say, as opposed to doing it yourself, you got a team of 100 people, and those 100 people are working 5 hours per week. Okay, that's 500 hours. Times 4 years, that's 200 weeks. So in those 4 years, you could achieve the same 100,000 hours that that one person did in the 40 years. So I guess the question you have to ask yourself, and this is really a personal question for you to look at, would I rather achieve that 100,000 hours worked by myself in 40 years? Or would I rather achieve that 100,000 hours worked with a team of 100 people in 4? And that question's up to you. And that's when I ask myself, when is the last time I did something new for the first time? This is a new way of maybe looking at things that I hadn't done in the past. So let's segue into health, because if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter how much money or how much time you have, because your time's going to run out and you won't be around to enjoy that life. And health is important. And if we're looking at health and talking about it, we have to talk about trends. Health and wellness is a trend, and it is a $1 trillion industry. Okay, let's look at some of the other $1 trillion industries. We have entertainment, which is that's what I grew up on. And that's a $2.6 trillion industry. Tech, $3.4 trillion industry. Health and wellness, $11.9 trillion industry. So we're not even saying, hey, you know what? You need to make $1 trillion. What we're saying is there's $11.9 trillion out there that is available for you to maybe have a piece of that pie. And that to me is pretty cool. It's something that's mainstream. I was looking through Facebook earlier and I saw someone doing a little Zumba, like maybe 3 people just dancing in the living room, teaching classes from their living room. People are doing it. People are getting healthy. People are walking outside even with face masks on. People are into health because health is the key, right? And if I'm looking at what we do with USANA, being a health and wellness nutritional company, talking about dietary supplements, right? 78% of people who are 35 and up are already taking supplements. And 69% of people 18 to 34 are taking supplements. So what does this tell you? This tells you that everyone's already taking something. They're already taking something. They just may not have any guidance as to where to get the better quality supplement options. So you walk into the store, you look at the aisle on the aisles, you just don't know what to pick. You just pick something. Sometimes people just need some suggestion and some guidance, and that's really what I do. It's not even a hard sell. It's like, look, most of the population is taking something. I offer them a money-back guarantee, which USANA has, and a chance to try something with a discount with some great product option packages, and they can make the decision. Let the product speak for himself, because it's not magic, it's science. And that's why I love USANA, because it's founded by a scientist. This company was not founded by some guy selling some product out of the trunk of his car. This was a microbiologist, an immunologist. And if you want some background on him, in 1974, before I was born, Dr. Myron Wentz, he founded Goal Laboratories. Now, if any of you have had mono, just type it in the chat. I'm just kidding. I don't need to know if you had mono. But if you had mono, you got tested with the test kit that Myron Wentz created, and they're still using to this day, Epstein-Barr. Now, shifting, unfortunately, because he lost his parents to degenerative disease, took his own money, did some research and development, and founded USANA Health Sciences. To me, that's important. Again, putting your money where your mouth is, really doing the research, really taking your knowledge and working towards preventative disease. Then creating Sanofi Medical Institute, one of the leading medical institutes in the world. In 2007, he won the Albert Einstein Award for Achievement in Life Sciences. To me, that's impressive because when I checked a few years ago, nobody had won it since he did. And I don't know what it has been in the last couple of years, but a lot of times, my kid plays basketball and in that league. In some way, everyone gets a trophy. This is not the everyone gets a trophy. This is like you have to be a baller to get this award. And the Albert Einstein Award for Achievement in Life Sciences has gone to him. Philanthropic endeavors, the USANA Street Health Foundation, that's something near and dear to my family's heart. We take part in that, and feeding kids and families around the world is super important. Some people say, well, I need to do my research on the financials. I invite you to go to Yahoo Finance, go to the NASDAQ and just look that USANA is trading. It's a publicly traded company. After the split, it's trading around $70 a share the last time I checked. So in 2016, celebrated 20 years of being open, and now we're in over 24 markets. So this to me is really awesome, having that 25-year history, being publicly traded, having $1 billion+ in sales, an electively FDA registered facility in being in all of these different markets. So if you have a friend or a family member who is in one of these countries, they too could not only enjoy the products that USANA offers, but they could enjoy the opportunity to create a business for themselves or reach out to and create a network of people enjoying the products in any one of these countries. To me, that's really impressive. So this slide, a lot of people say like, oh, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. A lot of companies say that, but I wonder, what do other people say about you? That to me is important. What do people say about you when you're not looking? And USANA has been rated the #1 direct selling brand based on customer satisfaction, okay? That to me is impressive because they've won it 6 times, which is crazy. That's like the Michael Jordan 6 championships. 6, Company of the Year. See, best nutritional supplement, manufacturer of the year. But to me, the center of this whole thing, I'm a weekend warrior, right? There's sometimes where I play basketball, and if Nick Kruger's on, I ball him up, and I take him down into the paint. But I'm not a real pro. Real pros are choosing USANA. More professional and Olympic athletes have chosen and are choosing USANA than any other nutritional supplement on the planet. Okay, that's impressive because their body is their business and they're choosing USANA. So if it's good enough for them, if it's good enough for people who are playing pro ball and people who are training the whole life for the Olympics, it's good enough for me. That to me is someone else doing the research that I can already leverage. And then I see 40 million, I talked about philanthropic efforts, 40 million meals in 26 countries since 2012. I have trouble feeding my family on the weekends when I'm doing daddy duty, and he's done 40 million meals. I'm like, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? What am I gonna give these kids? 40 million meals? That's impressive. Now, I love this slide is back in our presentation, and it's really eye-opening to me. You would have to consume 22,000 calories or spend more than $33 a day to get the same nutritional as one dose, a daily dose of the USANA Essentials. I'm gonna repeat that. 22,000 calories, or spend $33 a day to get the same amount of nutrients as found in one daily dose of the USANA Essentials. So people are like, I can get everything I need from food. Correct. You can have 18 and a half oranges and 80 medium bananas a day. Correct. You could probably pull off one serving of yogurt, but can you have 5 chicken breasts and 9 ounces of baked cod a day? Look at all those black beans. Your house is not gonna smell great with 2.5 cups of black beans a day. So I could eat all that stuff and maybe my waistline would expand, or I could do the smart thing, taken by the smart man, like Myron Wentz, and take these USANA Essentials. And there's so many different products here, right? We have the all these optimizers, but I look at this top row, and the Essentials is what we like to refer to as basic coverage. You know, if you're buying a car and you want to parallel it to something, it's basic coverage. It's going to get you the job done, and it's really good. Okay. Now the health pack, that is, I like to call it just a step up. You know, reliability. You want to make sure that, okay, I have my AM and PM packets, so I don't have 2 bottles. I have the filler packets, AM and PM. I have this Essentials, plus I have an antioxidant booster. Plus, we have the Magnum Cal D. So you're taking that coverage a little bit up, and you're saying, I'm really protecting myself and working on my immunity, boosting my immunity, supporting my immunity, I should say. And then you have the amazing My Health Pack, because what I have to take is different than what my wife needs to take. So we personalize. Mine says, my pack, it's personalized. It says Andre's a baller, or Diamond Life. And my wife's just says, you're beautiful. But what she takes is different than what I take. I love to take the vitamin D. I love to take the Percosa for my joints. I love the digestive line. All these different things that, you know, I like drinking bourbon. So we have the milk thistle there, which is amazing. But people have different needs, so you can customize it for yourself and put it in your own pack. That full coverage, that My Health Pack is the way to go. But that regular health pack, I don't miss a day of my regular health pack. That regular health pack is incredible. So I just grab and go. The shakes really changed my life. The Nutri-Mill shakes, the meal replacement shakes, if you guys couldn't tell by my chubby cheeks, I was 55 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I enjoyed the Reset program, which is I did 3 shakes a day for 5 days, fruits and vegetables filled in between, my health pack, the regular health pack, AM and PM, and the probiotics. Did that for 5 days, lost 12 pounds. Released 12 pounds of toxins, whatever was in there was gone. I continued on the maintain and the transform and maintain phase, and dropped a total of 55 pounds. And now I have a system that I can follow to keep it off. And when I need to grab a shake and go, when I need to be on set, when I need to fly to wherever, I know that I can not make poor choices by eating and drinking a shake and a microbiome bar, digestive health. Rev 3, I like to refer to that as nature's Red Bull. And I think anytime a company goes out of the way to use reverse osmosis water in their drink with no artificial anything, you know they're doing it right. The Nutri-Mill Free, my wife is vegan, and I've actually been eating plant-based for the last 2 weeks, dairy-free, nut-free. Like the USANA is going above and beyond to address all the different lifestyles and make sure that they're healthy options for everybody. The skincare, listen, you got to preserve the sexy, right? Now, I cannot speak to the shampoo and the conditioner because I do not have one lock of hair on my head. But I know that the Celavive is like the Bentley of skincare at the BMW price. You're going to get a high quality, great skincare line that really feeds your cells, has patented technology, but you're not paying the salon prices. I love the body wash, our brand new hand soap. It smells incredible. My kids love it. My firming body lotion. And I think it's important now that I've been hand sanitizing so often to really use that hand moisturizer and keep my hands nice and soft. So I believe your smile is your logo. So the the toothpaste, the whitening toothpaste, fluoride free, I don't miss a day. I brush my teeth 3 times a day, but I'm just crazy. So some people would say, listen, I need to talk to my doctor about this, and I would encourage you to do so. We have a really great thing in this world, in Canada and in the US, the physician's desk reference and the compendium. Your doctor can look up USANA products in that guide, and they could prescribe it to you because it is such of high quality that you will find them in the PDR and in the compendium. To me, that is unreal. That's unreal. So when people say, let me talk to my doctor, and I understand they want to do so, I feel very confident because they'll be able to flip the page open and see USANA's products, some of the products in there. And that's not a normal thing. But when you're an amazing company, you do abnormal things like go above and beyond to make sure you're doing the right thing all the time. So this is USANA lifestyle, live healthy and free. Okay, now people talk about an income, and I really love the compensation plan. I'm happy about the compensation plan because the compensation plan that USANA offers has given me the chance to build a lifestyle for myself that I can be proud of, that has taken a lot of work, but I have new options now. And I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of some of the yearly compensation and then how we build this. More than half of people don't earn anything. And that's fine, because more than half of the people want to just enjoy the product. They're not interested. Or maybe they don't work very hard. I know a lot of people have gym memberships that don't go and they complain that they're not getting ripped. But I looked at the numbers of 2019 versus 2017. What I was interested in is that this little area here, the $1,000 to $5,000 bracket went up, which means people that usually ask their boss for a $5,000 raise, if you look at the people now who are doing, more people who are doing USANA are earning a little bit more than they were in the past, giving themselves a raise. And let's look at how they're doing that. The first benchmark for me is when I'm bringing someone into the business, I'd like for them to enroll 10 customers. I think if you can find 10 customers who are super excited about the product and have them consuming $100 worth of product, that's going to equal $1,000 a month in sales, okay? Now, we earn 10% on every order. So that payout's $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. To me, that's not a lot, but you didn't really do much. You got 10 people consuming $100, right? I already told you that over 78% of people are taking supplements. By the time you have a shake, by the time you do the body wash and you do the essentials, you're already there. But let's say you want to take this up to a side hustle and you enroll those 10 customers, right? And then there's something called affiliates. People are like, you know what? I want to make a little money too. So you're going to train 4 affiliates who start in the business for $9.99. To start, it's $9.99. That gives you your business. Then you want to get active by enrolling product through your business, okay? But let's say you get those 4 affiliates and then you train them to get 10 customers. Suddenly, your 10 plus their 10 gives you 50 customers. And if those 50 customers are consuming $100 a month, that's $5,000 a month in sales. That payout is $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. That is, for some people, a very nice car payment. If I saw $500 a month on the ground, in the same spot, in the same place, every month, I would not step over it. So I get my 10 customers, and then I train 4 to get 10. That, to me, getting them on $100 a month to consume that product, that's going to equal $6,000 a year. That's pretty cool. Now, what about when you want to make it a part-time income? This is when I trained 4 affiliates to find 4. So you get 20 affiliates now. Train 4 to find 4. Suddenly you get 20 affiliates, and those 20 affiliates are getting 10 customers. Suddenly you have 200 customers consuming $100 a month. That's $20,000 a month in sales. The payout is $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. Now, I just bought a house here in South Florida, and I remember distinctly my my loan officer looking at my income for USANA. And he said, listen, Andre, you're gonna have to explain this to me. I see that you're working at the school, but I see this other full-time income, and I'm not really sure, how do you have another income, but you're working somewhere else? And I said, well, at the very least, if you train 4 to find 4 affiliates, that's 20 affiliates, times 10 customers, that's 200 customers, times $100 of product consumption, that's $20,000 a month in sales. The payout is $2,000, that's $24,000 a year. I know I'm making it seem easy, but it's not easy. But the formula is there. And that to me was the hard part. Figuring out what is the formula? What am I shooting for? What do I want to hit? And in the end, I feel hitting the full-time income where you train 16 affiliates to find 4. That's 84 affiliates times the 10 customers. That's 840 customers consuming $100 a month. 84,000 a month in sales. Payout is 10%. That's 6 figures. I think once you hit 6 figures, you have options that you may not have had before. And I feel like those options are really cool because you've done it with a team of people. You've done it moving product, because again, you can't get paid unless you're moving product, and the product is so phenomenal that you can't help but want to tell people about something you found that has really been important to you or special to you and worked for you, if it has. And when someone looks at a situation and a whole conversation like this, they either, they become a customer, because if now is not a good time to focus on your health, then you tell me when's gonna be a good time. So they become a customer or a referral partner. Some people are interested and they have questions, which was me. I was interested when Nick talked to me about this years ago, and I had questions, and him and Fernando sat and we talked about it for 6 weeks, and I got started, and I'm so glad that I did. And some people are like, let's go, let's get trained, I'm excited. And I think that if you're excited to do the training, I think that you should go. You should say, let's go. And I'm asking you, when is the last time you did something new for the first time? And maybe today is that day. There's some great packs. You can talk to the people who brought you here and look at some of these amazing packs depending on what country you're in. There's big incentives that are being offered on all of these products, depending on where you're from. But you have to decide, who will you be in USANA? Are you gonna be someone who's in the 60%, who just wants to enjoy it and doesn't really want to make money, and that's okay? Or are you gonna be someone who's working hard and moving a product, who's taking care, becoming a product of the product, and maybe changing their direction of their life, where some may look at you and say, hey, what you're looking at, that full-time income, that's not typical. But neither was me being on TV. So if I can make it on TV and film, I truly believe that you can make a life with USANA.